So a Raspberry Pi is, for all intents and purposes, a mini computer. It's a microprocessor. What these microprocessors do is they allow for you to do projects that involve embedded systems. So, for example, if you have data that needs a general purpose input and output, these binary input-output 1-0s, it has a mode for that. So if you need anything that involves analog to digital converters, such as applications involving DC servo motors or any sort of quantitative sensor, if you write code and get the appropriate hardware, you can make them talk to each other, all because of that microprocessor that enables that communication between the physical and computational devices. So at Virginia Tech, there are student organizations that do a lot of exciting things with Raspberry Pis. There is an embedded systems course that you're required to use a microcontroller. Even if it's not the Raspberry Pi itself, you are going to get familiar with, hardware and software talking to each other one way or another. The future of Raspberry Pi is very exciting. I do want to encourage my students to use Raspberry Pis because of how available and open source it is. As hardware specs improve, as technology advances at a very rapid pace, just 1 year is a big generational gap. So it allows for us to do a lot more things. We're already doing a lot of fun things with DIY projects, course projects, just fun things that are required for, general societal purposes. But as opportunities expand and as our specs improve, we get to do more things more efficiently. The naming of computers after fruit is something that is not exactly novel. For example, we have Apple computers, we have the BlackBerry devices. Raspberry pretty much follows that tradition. And it's called Pi because the language is Python, and Pi is short for Python. My name is Christiana Chamon Garcia, and this is Raspberry Pis Explained.